Is there anybody in the current on I mean, this
the
is
only
independent.
the guys that I like two guys. I could watch two of the guys. I like Braun Strowman and I like Bray Wyatt. They're about the only two guys that I can watch.
Yeah.
Because they make it believable. All the other guys, I mean, no offense to smaller guys, but they look like guys you see down walking the streets.
Yeah.
And that's what was so cool about wrestling when I was a kid. Like, the guys were all larger than life characters. They all had this big persona. They all had this big character. Now it's like, you know, Dean Ambrose comes out in jeans and a tank top.
Right.
And looks like some guy you'd see at Kmart or Walmart.
Yeah.
Are you going to watch that and say, wow, that guy's going to kick someone's ass?
No, yeah, I mean, you go
back in the 15 years ago, you saw like Eddie Guerrero, Benoit, JBL, and you thought, man, those guys are going to kick someone's ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, JBL had like the clothesline from hell, and with the way people would sell it, it was just, I mean, like you would do that running boot from the corner, or even that, if I say it wrong, I'm sorry, but it was like a pump handle side slam. And like it looked devastating when people were hit with it. I saw looking up, you sell, you have the beard oil.
Yeah, I started my own beard care line with a couple.
Now I don't have anything as majestic as that, but what I've never used it before. So what specifically would beard oil do for somebody's facial hair to apply it?
Well, there ain't anything that's going to help that thing.
I know.
I'm just teasing.
She would love it if I just grew all of my hair out. It just looked like I came from the mountains or something.
Yeah, you gotta, it's basically a moisturizer that opens up your pores, so it helps your hair grow more efficiently. And then it also moisturizes your skin so you don't get the dry, itchy, patchy stuff.
Gotcha.
And then I also have my shampoo, which is a conditioner with shampoo and conditioner. And then I have a balm, which is the thicker, oily type substance. If you have a longer beard like myself, it helps for the control, and then the oils for the moisturizing and the shine type stuff. So.
Yeah, I gotta say, I like this a lot more than when they had you shave your head.
My wife does too.
And face and tint your teeth yellow.
She can't keep her hands off me. Like, I'm taking a shower, next thing I know the door pops open and she's like, can I do your back?
That's the dream.
Yeah, that's what you want, right?
Well, you know, I'm only human, I can't, you know.
Well, you have the beard, so that
5-6 times a day is a little much.
You're the one growing the beard, so in that instance, it is your fault. So. And I saw you did a horror movie, right?
Right. It's 100 Acres of Hell.
Yeah.
And I co-produced it, starred in it. I did the fight sequences in it, and I did the stunt work in it too. I was the stunt coordinator and did my own stunts.
That's awesome. I haven't seen it.
Well, you're not gonna because it's not out yet. It comes out in the fall. It's in post-production right now.
Yeah, I think it was on your Instagram. I think you were promoting this event, and you had that as a hashtag. So then that led me to look that up to see what it was, and then I guess they always say you can't trust IMDb, but IMDb had it listed as a 2016 release. And I didn't even.
Yeah, well, we were being a little over-aggressive and hoping for 2016, but the post-production took a lot longer than we anticipated.
Right.
So realistically, it's probably going to come out this fall, early fall, hopefully, but definitely in the fall. And myself, Ernie O'Donnell from Clerks, Samu Anawai, he's from the Anawai dynasty, the Samoan dynasty. He plays the antagonist. I'm the protagonist, and let's see who else is in it. Who else is in it that I failed to mention? Samu's brother, Alpha Jr. was actually his stunt double. Oh. So I got him in there too. So
that's cool.
We did a lot of the fight scenes, him and I. So it was pretty fun. There's some killer stunts, some really awesome fight scenes. And, like you said, check us out on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. We have a page set up, 100 Acres of Hell. And you'll be able to see all the updates, all the stuff that's going on. The trailer's on there. You can see the trailer. I mean, I think it's probably going to turn a lot of people's heads just because it's so different than what's out there right now. Like, I wanted to do more of a throwback to old school horror, right, but have the action and the fight sequences of modern day pro wrestling.
Yeah,
so it's kind of it's a cool combination.
Because I'm not always the biggest horror fan, but I mean, you throw in like the action and stuff like that. Because the issue I normally have with horror movies is they always do that, like, people run away, trip and fall, and then they get caught. But obviously, with someone like you as the protagonist, I'm not going to see you running away from something in the woods.
No. And that was the whole point of me doing it that way, because I wanted to have a formidable foe for the, the bad guy. Because in every movie you watch, they fall down, like you said, they fall down, and all of a sudden you're running full speed, but boom, it's not a buoy trip. Every movie it seems like. So I wanted to have a series of events leading up to an actual climax where there's a build up, the tension, the anticipation, and then bam, the big finish, So that's kind of what we went with. I didn't want to just have like someone getting chopped into a million pieces in the first 10 seconds of the movie. Because then where do you go from there? What are you gonna do after that? You know what I mean?
Plus, that's like that could be a new genre too, because you don't really see a lot. I mean, you don't really see any action.
No, that's why I said it's going to turn a lot of heads, because it's never been done before. Like every horror movie that you can probably think of off the top of your head, it's been
none of them
a helpless little girl or a helpless young guy, or somebody that doesn't measure up to the killer per se. Now it's a big strong guy fighting a big strong killer, and ultimately who's going to win, good or bad? You know what I'm saying? It's not where you're like, oh my God, what is she doing? Don't go in there. Now you're gonna be like, go in there and kick his ass.
Yeah, it's less of like watching it going, no, just yes.
Yeah, exactly. So we kind of flipped the script, and I wanted to do a whole new vision of horror per se, and make it more not only action packed but exciting, and actually, like I said, to where you're building the tension to the climax. Now, you'll be following the story and wondering, hey, what's going to happen? As opposed to someone gets chopped in half, someone gets a head cut off, someone gets their arm chopped. It's like, these days you watch a horror movie, it's like chop, 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 end.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I wanted to do it more of like a throwback, because I love Halloween, I love Friday the 13th. Halloween, you don't see any blood or gore or anything.
Right.
Think about it. You hear music and you're like, oh, shit's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then what really happens? You don't see nothing. It's all that tension, the build up, the anticipation. So it's playing with your emotions, That's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to just give it all away. I want to have people sitting through the movie thinking, oh man, I wonder what's going to happen next. Did you see that? Oh, that's crazy.
That's awesome. Yeah, that sounds great.
It is great.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
So you said you're shooting for the fall. Do you think it's going to be something that, now with everything hits streaming services, do you think it'll be something we can pick up on?
Well, we've already been contacted by 2 distributors, so it's
great.
Moving in the right direction. As far as like Netflix or Hulu or any of that kind of stuff, obviously, if that avenue presents itself and the money's right and it works for us, then
ideally,
I wouldn't roll it out.
Love to see a wide release, and then because that's the only thing that's difficult. Sometimes it's a movie you see a trailer for and it looks great, and then it's like, where's it playing? Oh, it's playing in Nome, Alaska.
Right. Well, no, we have a premiere set up at my home theater, which is the Angela Theater in Coaldale, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
That's the area I grew up, and I always wanted to do like a nice old school film preview kind of thing. And this is a theater from the 30s, and they restored it, and like it's pretty much 80% authentic to how it was.
Love those
And it's
theaters.
awesome.
They look like
And,
the movie The Majestic. They look like that.
Well, that's how it is. It's just like that. And Deb and Mike, the owners, are so nice, and they're like, they actually contacted the mayor of Coaldale to reach out to me to see if they could do it. And I was like, I was actually thinking about you guys.
That's
so
all. It's like a homecoming.
Cool.
That's great.
So we're gonna have one of the premieres there. We're gonna do another one in Jersey and Atlantic City, because my business partners are from Atlantic City. So I want to do one at each spot, and then depending on how the distributor thing works out, hopefully it'll be worldwide release. I hate to say it, but I'm more popular over in Europe and Japan than I am in the United States. So I'm trying to use my recognition from over there to get that, the whole world to see it. I don't want it to just be like in the $5 rack at Walmart, you know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, absolutely.
Because I think it presents itself in a bigger, what's the word I'm thinking of? Bigger presence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think once people see it and the word gets out, just look back at the original Halloween. It didn't do anything in the box office. Nothing. Then people started watching it, and then they were like, oh my God, you gotta see Halloween. Dude, did you see Halloween? And before you know it, it's a big successful horror movie. But when it first came out, it didn't do anything in the theaters. Nothing. So that's, I mean, I'm trying
status.
to, obviously I don't want to go that route,
No.
but if someone sees it, I guarantee they're going to be like, wow, did you see that? That was crazy.
Well,
You know?
the popularity overseas can help too, because there's movies that get sequels now. Like there's movies that get sequels now that maybe in the United States didn't perform well, but then over in Europe or China.
Oh, you look at mostly all the movies these days. They make more money overseas than they do here.
Yeah.
Pretty much all of them.
So I mean,
And with horror movies, you can't go wrong because everybody wants to get the shit scared out of
yeah,
them.
and it's great if you have a good market over there and you get the buzz, then you have more.
My wife will tell you, I'm not lying, I get more fan mail from Germany, Europe, Australia, than I do from the United States. It's like probably, for every 5 I get from the United States, I probably get 8 or 9 from Europe. It's crazy. Like I say, I always joke with my wife, I'm like, man, that storyline with Kane was like in 2004. It was 12 years ago. And people are still talking about it like it was yesterday. It's cool. Like I just made the top 25 video thing again. I'm the number 2 Royal Rumble elimination in the history of WWE. How cool was that? I'm just a guy from Nesquehoning, Pennsylvania, a town of 3,000 people that had a big dream and would tell everybody that would listen to me. You're gonna either watch me in the NFL or you're gonna watch me on Monday Night Raw. And I did both. So, I mean, how cool is that?
That's awesome.
It's awesome. Well, it was a great storyline though. I mean the Taboo Tuesday match was the one. Didn't it end with you like stomping the chair on his throat and then
Yeah, and then, well, it was a weapons choice match, and I think
the chain match?
the chain got voted in, so we did the chain match. I beat him with the chain. Then I did the chair thing, crushed his esophagus, and then when they were rolling him out on the stretcher, I ran back out, blasted him again, and the whole thing flipped over. I was like,
It's just crazy to think because what was it? 4 weeks before, the fans were booing him for attempting to do that same move to you, and then just completely just.
Well, that's the beauty of pro wrestling, man. That's why I love it so much because like I could toy with someone's emotions in the blink of an eye. It's great. Like, I can get you to love me in a second. I can get you to hate me in the next second. And to me, that's the best thing about it.
Yeah. I mean, you want that reaction, and you know that.
And I didn't even really have to do anything. Like no one knew who I was. I came out of obscurity. Nobody knew about me. I hit him with one chair shot, and the world knows me.
Yeah.
That quick. How crazy is that?
Yeah, I think in that match, you were the spot where
I didn't even get announced.
I was just gonna say you were just in the ring. Like he came down and it was just like Gene Snitsky in the ring.
Yeah.
But I mean it's
in a matter of 5 minutes.
It's great because not a lot of guys, you don't get those reactions from crowds anymore.
No, I was very fortunate. I mean, I took to it quick when I got signed with WWE and moved to Louisville. That's where the training camp was then. And I just picked it up fast because, like I said, you know, we talked earlier, I've been an athlete all my life. So, like, things just fortunately come natural to me. I can pick things up fast in, you know, athletics. And, like, just the training of the wrestling came natural to me, falling down on the ropes, you know, whatever, just came natural. And I'm a walking character. I've been this guy since I was a little kid. So I didn't have to work on my character.
Right.
Because that was already me. My wife will tell you, she's like, we go places and she's like, oh my God, I can't go anywhere with you. Because I'm just like, that's just me. Like, I'll do crazy shit everywhere we go. I don't care. It's fun to me. Like, life's too short to walk around miserable and like, I have fun everywhere I go, man.
That's
like,
good.
I'll do anything just to make someone laugh. I just enjoy entertaining people. And it's, you know, we always joke because people are like, do you guys have kids? And we're like, my wife looks at me and goes, yeah, I have one big kid. So it's cool. You know, I always joke around and say I live vicariously through myself because I get to, you know.
I like that.
I get to be me when I'm home with her and the dog. I have a Great Dane, Maximus. He's awesome. And when I'm home with my wife, Deanne, it's just me and her and the dog, and I'm just Gene. I have a full gym in my basement. I go down, I work out. I, you know, have my protein shakes. I'm sponsored by Vitargo, world's greatest supplement. Suggest you go check it out. Store.vitargo.com.
I think I saw you on a commercial for pressure cooker.
I also was a spokesman for the Power Pressure Cooker XL, and I've done a whole bunch of stuff, man. Like I said, for a guy from a little rinky-dink town in Northeast Pennsylvania, who had just had big dreams, man. It's like every day is just something different. It's cool, you know.
I mean, it's great. And well, you have that very you have an approachable personality, and then you can also morph into a character that is also like just people can watch it. Like, can you believe what he just said? It can be in both a positive and negative way, but both in a way that make you want to be like, all right, well, what's he going to say next?
Well, that's the fun of it. Like I said earlier, you know, I can make you love me, I can make you hate me. But the real me, I'm just a big teddy bear, and I just like to have fun. Like, but I could, you know, flip the switch in a second if I need to. You know, that's the cool thing. Like, I don't walk around in character. You know, I have fun with it, you know? That's what life's all about. Like I said earlier, it's too short to have, you know, a chip on your shoulder and be miserable all the time. What the heck, you only get 60 to 100 years on Earth. Might as well enjoy it. You know? You only get one go around, man, that we know of. So, you might as well make the most of it because you ain't got a second chance. So, I always had big dreams. I was always the guy that would watch something on TV and be like, man, I'm gonna do that someday, or, you know, I wanna do this, or I'm gonna do that. Like, I'm always setting a goal for myself. I never get satisfied. Like, that's what I think drives me, because I just always wanna do something more. Like, I don't ever just like a lot of guys, oh, you know, I made it to the WWE, and they try to ride that for the rest of their life. You know what I mean? Like, to me, wrestling was just this much of my life. Like, I have so much more to offer. You know, I did the sports. You know, like I said, I'm getting inducted into the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame. I mean, who do you know who can say that? That was in the WWE and in the NFL. And I have my own action figures, I'm on video games, I got merchandise. I mean, like, how cool is that? You know? Like, I grew up, like I said, in Nesquehoning. No one's ever heard of that place. Like, who's ever heard of Nesquehoning? Nobody. But every week on Monday Night Raw, from Nesquehoning, Pennsylvania. Yeah, to me, it's like my proudest thing, you know, because nobody ever does that where I grew up. Like, everybody's content getting their paycheck, going out on the weekend. They don't set, like, big dreams or big goals for themselves. And ever since I was little, I could always remember doing that. Like, I always wanted to play pro football. I always wanted to wrestle in WWE. I always wanted to be a movie star. I always wanted to have my own, be an entrepreneur and have my own business. So, like, as my life goes on, I just keep doing things that I've always wanted to do. Because who's going to stop me? Nobody.
Exactly. I mean,
You can only stop yourself.
doing it well, and you're having fun doing it. So what more can you ask out of it?
And to get back on the pay-per-view, the coolest thing about my first pay-per-view with Kane was on my mom's birthday. And I wanted the chairs from the show, Taboo Tuesday chair, and I gave it to her for her birthday. So that's cool. She still has it in her living room.
That's cool.
So,
Wow.
I'm also got this guy right here. I'm the spokesman for the Buck Hardware Buck Autism Program. I take my belt everywhere for my appearances, and we do photo ops for $10, and we donate it to the autism awareness people. And then if you use the hashtag BuckAutism and repost it on your social media, we donate another $1 every time it's posted and shared. So personally, I've raised over $5,000 just from last summer to now, just in my appearances with photo ops. So pretty proud of that. I also work with the Bustin' for Autism people down in Houston. It's another foundation in the autism awareness program. Fly down to Houston probably 3 times a year and appear at events with Tana Weiberg. She's the head of the program. And her and her husband take good care of me, always, you know, top notch, very professional. Check those guys out too. Bustin' for Autism, BUSTIN, the number 4 autism. Check them out, tell them I sent it. Also, like I said, the Buck Hardware Autism Awareness people, they're out of York, Pennsylvania. Make sure you get a hold of them too. And what else do I have going on? Oh, it's actually Lancaster. They're in between Lancaster and York. I think it's technically Lancaster. Buck Hardware. Their address is technically Lancaster, right? But anyways, just check out Buck Hardware. You'll find it. Hashtag Buck Autism. Yeah, I do a lot of charity stuff. I love, you know, giving back. There's no amount of money or a price tag you can put on a kid coming up to you and smiling and saying, "Oh, I played you on my video game." Like, that to me is like the biggest reward. It's so cool. Because as a kid, I loved watching wrestling, and like I never had the opportunity to do that. Like, I can remember one time my mom worked in a sewing factory, and my dad worked in a pressure casting plant, and I wanted to go see a Philadelphia Eagle guy so bad that was doing a signing, but they couldn't take me because they both had to work. So like, to me, like to be able to do that and have a kid come up to me that I know wanted to see me so bad that he got his parents to bring him to see me, like just, I mean, you can't top that, you know, because they could be doing a ton of other things.
Yeah.
And they wanted to see me, so it's kind of cool. Yeah.
So what would probably be one of your greatest memories? Like something.
Honestly, my greatest memory probably is the day WWE called and told me they were going to sign me to a contract. Because true story, I was living with my mom at the time, and I was in my underwear on the computer at my mom's house, and the phone rang, and I was like, yeah? Like, oh, we want to sign you to move to Louisville and start right away, blah, blah, blah. I literally ran through the house in my underwear, yelling and screaming. My mom's like, what the heck is wrong with you? I'm like, I just got signed with WWE. I was like running around the house in my underwear, and my mom's like, just shaking her head. So that's probably the coolest thing.
You met, who did you meet first?
My wife's over there like this, going, what about me? I see it. See? Got good peripheral vision. That's a close second. Close second.
So who did you meet first? Like when you first I guess met? Did you meet any stars right off the bat? Did you?
Honestly, I've never been a starstruck kind of guy. Like I never was one of those guys. I was like, oh my god! Like I got like as a kid, I'd walk around with my boombox and listen to Ozzy Osbourne all the time. Like all the time. Like I drive my parents nuts. Actually, that was my very first concert when I was 15 at Allentown at Stable Arena, and Motley Crue opened up for them. And I thought that was the best thing ever. I'm like, my first concert, it's Ozzy. I'm like, oh, this is great. Well, wouldn't you know it, one of the first celebrity guys I met when I was at WWE was Ozzy. He debuted one of his albums on SmackDown, so I got to meet him. And I became friends with his guitar player, Zach Wild. So, make a long story short, Zach and I became friends, hit it off. He introduced me to Ozzy, we hung out with Ozzy, they invited us to Ozfest. So me and my wife go to Ozfest in Camden, park in the back by Zach's tour bus. We're on Zach's bus partying with him before the show. He brings me out to see Ozzy. Me and Ozzy and my wife are taking pictures together, like backstage. Ozzy's flexing like this with me, and I had my Ozzy Osbourne Black Sabbath Affliction shirt on. It's a cool photo. So we go back to the bus, hanging out with Zach. We're drinking out of this bullhorn thing. And he goes, gotta do one more before we go out. And we're like, okay, we'll see after the show. He's like, come with me. So me and my wife walk with Zach from his tour bus to the stage. And he doesn't put us off on the side. He walks us onto the stage. And it's like, you're Ozzy, and here's me and my wife. We're standing right behind Zach's guitar setup on stage. And you look out, and there's 90,000 people. And I'm going in my head back to being 12 years old, listening to Ozzy Osbourne, Diary of a Madman, in my backyard on my boombox. And then I'm looking out, and there he is singing Crazy Train and all his, awesome songs. Me and my wife look at each other, and we're like, yeah, this is really happening. This is pretty cool, So it's kind of that was my biggest fringe benefit of being a WWE guy. I'll never forget that. That was the coolest thing ever. So.
Do you still go to the events and go backstage or whatever?
I've gone to usually when they're in Wilkes-Barre or Hershey.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't have anything else going on, I'll pop in and see. If some of my friends are on the show, I won't go just to go. If I know someone that I know is going to be on the show, I'll pop in and say hello, check out part of the show, and leave. But, like I said, if I have an open night, then I'll go. I don't set my calendar. WWE's in Hershey, I'm going to go. But it's always good to see the guys. I still have an open door. I still go and go backstage, hang out, get my backstage pass, the whole 9 yards. They don't ever give me a hard time. So it's kind of cool. So I was fortunate enough to be a really good athlete and get a scholarship. I went to the University of Missouri on a full football scholarship. Andy Reid was my college football coach. He was my offensive line coach in Missouri. Then he ends up going to the Eagles, and I'm a diehard Eagles fan, so I'm like, yes! So I've been going to the Eagles every year. Shout out to Dom, head of security for the Eagles, still takes care of me. I love the Eagles, man. I go to 1 or 2 games every year still. I go down for camp every year. They roll out the red carpet for me, man. I can't complain. Like I said, going back to when I was a kid, I remember watching them lose the Super Bowl to the Raiders in 1980, and it ruined my whole year. I had my Harold Carmichael jersey on. I was like, ah. So now it's like I know Harold Carmichael. It's the weirdest thing. Like everything's just gone full circle, man. It's crazy.
I think the first time I heard my grandfather swear was when they lost to the Patriots.
I was wrestling with WWE in Alaska. So I'm up there it's like noon, and I'm watching the game. And then I would leave to get on the bus to go, and then I saw that they lost. Because they should have won.
Yeah, it was a last minute field goal, right?
Yeah. So I wasn't happy. It was a long trip home from Alaska. I still have all my Eagles stuff. Die-hard Eagles fan. Still follow Mizzou. I'll always be a Missouri Tiger and a Panther Valley Panther. I grew up in the coal regions of PA, man. Super proud of where I come from. I love the coal regions. My actual box that I'm designing for my beard care line is going to be a coal car. And we're going to do a soap in the shape of a piece of coal. So it's going to be the soap, the balm, the shampoo, and the oil in a coal car.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's the long-term plan for that. 3 minutes. I'm getting flagged for 3 minutes. So what else do I need to put? Let's get back to the coal region. Love growing up. I grew up in Nesquehoning, Pennsylvania. Nesquehoning. There's a rhyme to it. That's how I learned it as a kid. Kind of funny. But it's 4 miles from Jim Thorpe, so that kind of gives everybody an idea of the region. But a lot of local history there, a lot of old coal mining. And my grandfather, unfortunately, passed away from black lung. My dad was one of the pickers, those kids that, what do they call those people? Breaker boys. Yeah, they sit and they pick coal all day and all that. Like I always joke around and say, when I was a kid in high school, when I'd walk home from the bus stop, if I saw a ton of coal in the front yard, guess what I was doing for the next 2 hours? Shoveling coal with the buckets, carrying it up around the house and dumping it into the coal bin back in the house. That's what I did as a kid.
And look at the result.
And that's why I'm big and strong. Plus I ate my steak and potatoes and drank my milk. But yeah, I mean, it was funny. Like I still joke around about it. Like, oh, that coal. I was shoveling that. Oh, I see a ton of coal in the front yard. Yeah, it helped, man, because give you good work ethic and all that, which definitely helps now. So.
Yeah, and you still have that work ethic, which is great.
Yeah, all the kids and people out there watching, don't let anybody tell you you can't do something. I'm living proof that you can if you put your mind to it. Because I come from a town of 3,000 people, and I dreamt big, and I did it big, and I'm still doing it big, and nobody's gonna stop me. So keep watching. Check out the film 100 Acres of Hell coming out in the fall. Watch for my beard care line at Walmart or PVC, hopefully. And thanks for watching. Check me out on social media, Big Gene Snitsky on Twitter, The Real Snitsky on Instagram, Snitsky's official fan page on Facebook. And like I said, Buck Autism, Busting for Autism, check those guys out too. Every dollar helps. If you can make a contribution, fire away. Those kids need all the help they can get. Thanks to all my fans out there. I appreciate it. There'd be no Snitsky without you. I don't forget my fans. Thank you so much. Keep watching wrestling. And thanks for having me.